All right, let's do a sample audit. Just so you know that this isn't scripted, I'm on a website called Random Lists, and I'm just going to click this button a bunch of times, and cool, New York. Oh, I don't want to do New York. Nashville, Davidson, Tennessee. Cool. We're going to go with that, and we're going to find a random business, and we're gonna do an audit video. Okay, here we are. We've got maps pulled up, and I'm just going to kind of scroll in and drag around, and then go here, and then we'll go over this way, and extra space storage, Abbott West self storage. It's a bar. I'm gonna do like a restaurant. Pink Door Cookies. There we go. Or maybe we'll do both. We'll do Roberts Mobile Mechanics and we'll do Pink Door Cookies. But we'll start with Pink Door Cookies. All right. So very first things that we're going to be looking at is their Google profile and their website, because those are going to determine their rankings. Now, before we get into exactly why a Google profile matters and why your website matters, let's look at, what are people searching. That's cookie related. Obviously, they're probably looking for cookies near me. What are people actually searching though? We need to look at that. And then we need to figure out, okay, how do we where can we show up? So one of my favorite tools for this is Google Keyword Planner. Actually, it gives you actual raw statistical insights on what people are actually searching. So you go to Tools, Keyword Planner, and you can actually find out what people are searching for. Making a Google Ads account is free, by the way, so you can totally use this tool yourself just to kind of get an idea in your own local market, or you can request your own audit video. What did he just say? Anyways, we're gonna go to Nashville. We're gonna go to Nashville, Tennessee. There we go. And so now we're going to be looking at only what people are searching from the Nashville region. Obviously, that's pretty well. That's the whole Nashville area. So we'll just do Nashville because ain't nobody driving from Cookieville. Huh, look at that, Cookieville. That's funny. Since we're looking at a cookie place. But yeah, nobody's driving from Cookieville more than likely to get some cookies. So we're gonna just check out Nashville and we're gonna go cookies. We're just gonna type that in. You could totally type in more keywords too. In your audit video, I'd obviously do some more keywords, kind of give you an idea of what people are searching. So cookies, right? There's 1,000 to 10,000 people every single month in Nashville looking that up. That's good traffic. If you were a roofing contractor and there was 1,000 to 10,000 people looking up roofing contractors near me, I mean, obviously you'd want to rank for that. Cookies, though, that could mean anything. They could be talking about, you know, cookie recipes. They could be talking about cookie places. Who knows? Who knows? So that's really not like a buy intent keyword that you would want to rank for. So we're gonna keep scrolling. Cookies near me. I don't know about you, but if anybody's looking cookies near me, I think they want some cookies. So as a cookie place, this is something that you would want to rank for. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this magical website called Valentine.app, and I'm just gonna paste that in there. What this allows us to do is geocode our location, so I can pretend that I'm in Nashville because I'm most definitely not in Nashville. And we're just gonna zoom out a little bit, and we're gonna grab the address of the Parthenian. I thought this place was in Europe. They got a duplicate. That's really cool. Um. Anyways, we're gonna geocode, right? And so we're gonna make Google think that I'm standing right there in the Parthenian. Boom. There I am. It's not where I'm at. And guess who ranks number one? Pink Door Cookies. Okay. So this right here is called a map pack. This is one of the places that you can actually rank by doing your Google profile optimizations. This is why it's important to do your Google profile optimizations, because there's two places you can rank when you do your Google profile. It's in the maps itself. So when I'm in maps and I'm looking at restaurants, boom, this is a place that I can rank. Cool. My Google profile can show up over here if I'm a restaurant, right? Second place is over here in a map pack. So when somebody makes a search, like a near me search, they're going to show up in the map pack. Now, a map pack is really good for like a contractor because people are going to be looking up roofing contractor near me, or a professional, right? Like dentists, therapists, any type of contracting, any sort of professional style business like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's where you show up in a map pack. You want to show up there. Like nobody's getting on Google Maps and looking for roofing contractors near me. I mean, maybe there's some traffic, but it's extremely doubtful. I mean, most of the older people, no offense to you older people at all, but that I talk to, they don't even know what Google Maps is or how to use it. So Google Maps itself is more of a younger generation kind of thing. It's coming up, but it's not all the way there yet. But this right here, the map pack, 100% a very valuable place to rank. So you rank here by doing your Google profile optimizations. And I'm stressing this mostly because this is an example audit video and I want you to understand the key concepts, because then we get into, okay, how does Pink Door Cookies actually rank? So for you, it would be, how do you actually show up in number one spot here? They show up in the number one spot here. And now let's get into that briefly, why they show up in the number one spot. So we're going to just go back over to Pink Door Cookies. And we're just going to take a look at their Google profile. So first thing that I see is they've got some images on here, which is good. They got quite a few images on there. That's good. That's good. Uploading images on your Google profile consistently is a big part of ranking in the map pack. Let's see, they got owner uploads too, so they're uploading images on here, not very frequently though, so they could totally be doing better here because they're not uploading enough. There's not enough people on their Google profile either. Google really likes when there's images of human beings on Google profiles. Statistically, ones with human beings showing up in the images do better. Okay, here is also another view of their Google profile. We're just outside of maps now because this column over here is a little funky. So another big part of it is they have 4.9 Google reviews. 4.9 stars, 230 Google reviews. If we go back over to our SERP here, this is a SERP, a search engine result page. So the entire page that shows up when you make a search on Google, nerds like me, we call it a SERP. Now you can call it a SERP too, and it'll be super cool. So they have 230 Google reviews, and we're relatively close to them. I mean, in our example here, we're about, what is that? We're 1.14 kilometers away. So we're less than a mile away from them. We're very close to them, right? Proximity is a really big part because obviously I searched cookies near me. I didn't say cookies in Nashville. I said cookies near me. So Google's gonna narrow the search down by places that are actually close to me, right? So they're pretty close to me. And out of the two that are close to me, which is Great American Cookies and Pink Door Cookies, obviously Pink Door Cookies is better. They have a higher rating and they have more Google reviews. So they're consistently better by terms of Google reviews. Google reviews are another really big part of outranking somebody. So these guys are at 4.1 stars with 55 Google reviews. That's not very good. I mean, it's going to be rough for them. They're ranking right now strictly because of proximity. Because look at this. Where are these guys at? Let's find out. Well, let me zoom out. Yeah, so these guys are all the way across the city. That's like 12 miles maybe. And they're ranking because they have 686 Google reviews. Basically, that's a big part of it. And you know what's funny is these guys are actually technically doing better in every aspect, except for the fact that they have terrible Google reviews. Google reviews are a really big part of it. Google reviews are the biggest part. Google reviews and proximity. You got to just be close to your clientele, obviously, but you also just need really good Google reviews. That's one of the biggest driving factors. And these guys are posting photos though, and they have their products uploaded. This is very good. Not a lot of people have their menu uploaded like this. They have not a very well written description. Like they don't say where they're at. So these guys have some issues. These guys definitely have some issues as well. We go back over to the page we were looking at here. Pink Door Cookies, handcrafted in Nashville, Tennessee. Like that's not bad, but that's not part of their Google profile. We'll get into that in a minute here. They're not doing their updates on Google periodically. Like the last one they did was in 2022. This is a part of it. You need to make sure that you're doing updates on your Google profile. Their description is super short, not very good at all. So really what's carrying these guys right now and the fact that they're ranking is proximity. I'm close to them and they have good, consistent Google reviews. That's what's carrying them. They need more images. They need to do their updates. And if somebody like, hold on, let's go back. Where were we? Great American Cookies, the fact that they're ranking here with 55 Google reviews when there's other companies around is because they are doing these things that I'm talking about. They have lots of photos on here. They have people in their photos. They have their menu uploaded. They're not doing their updates, which they could be doing, but their description is better. So technically they're doing better, and that's why they're in second and not completely off the screen. Because if they weren't doing this stuff, they wouldn't be on the screen at all. All right, so that's a brief insight into ranking in the map pack. And the reason that this is important is because, well, cookies near me, right? This is the first thing that's going to show up on a near me style search. So if I'm looking for any sort of services near me, or I'm making a search where Google thinks, hey, they probably are looking for companies near them, you're going to see a map pack first. You almost always see a map pack first. And that's important because, well, guess what? There's 1,000 to 10,000 people searching this exact same screen every single month. So this is the exact same screen that people are seeing every single month. Very important place to rank, especially right here. Now we have a Google ad here. This is a sponsored slot. If you want to talk about Google ads, we can talk about Google ads, but we're just doing a sample audit here, which is where we go over your website and we go over your Google profile and your social media. We don't go over Google ads because Google ads are straightforward. It's just like, how much do you want to pay? What keyword do you want to target? Let's find out what keywords people are searching for and let's do it. You know, and make a funnel page. That's what Google ads are. They're simple. They're simple. You don't need complicated explanations for that. You know, it's easy stuff. This, however, is a little more complicated, a little more nuance to it, right? So pink door cookies, they're ranking number 1. That's a great spot to rank because guess what? Did you know? This is a stat here. 30% of all traffic for a search goes to approximately 30% goes to the first ranking result. Now, as for how Google Ads plays into that, it's a little different. You know, a lot of people see sponsored ads and they skip over them. So we're just talking strictly organic results here. It's about 30%. 30% of all people. So 30% of 1,000. What is that? 300-ish? 330? Yeah, something like that. 300. I can't do math. Without a calculator because I'm stupid. But anyways, 300, right? So 300 people visiting their website every single month. It's not terrible. You know, it's not bad. 10,000 a month. Okay, now we're talking 3,000 people visiting the website. You know, so there's definitely a big range here of people searching for this. So this is a great place to rank. Map pack. Secondly, you get down into these results down here. These are called organic results. The way that you rank here is strictly from your Google profile. So you can rank twice on one page. You can rank in the map pack, you can rank here, and then you can actually do Google ads and you can rank up top, and you could rank here, and you could rank at the bottom. So you could technically rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on one page. So if there was a ton of traffic for a certain term, it would probably be worthwhile because you could just dominate the home page, the first page. But if there's not a lot of traffic, well then, you know, is it really worth it to pay to get on 3 slots on Google Ads? Probably not. No, probably not. You could just be here and that's fine, and be here and that's fine. So these guys are actually ranking right here. Pink door cookies, handcrafted in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, let's think about this. Why are these people ranking right here? Now we got to think about the website. Pink door cookies, handcrafted in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, well, their name is Pink door cookies, and I'm looking for cookies, and I said near me, and they are in Nashville, Tennessee. So Google goes, okay, this guy's looking for cookies near him, and he's right here. Well, Pink Door Cookies is right next to them, and they say that they're cookies in Nashville, Tennessee. Boom, there they are. They're ranking. Now, another one that's ranking is Yelp, top 10 best cookies in Nashville, Tennessee. Cool. Why are these guys ranking? Well, they said the best cookies, and I'm looking for cookies, and they're in Nashville, Tennessee, which is near me. So there you go. Now you understand the structure of what we call SEO titles. SEO titles and meta descriptions. You got to write these out in a way that Google knows where you are, what you're talking about, and who you are. That's the most important thing about this aspect of it. Now, there's another part of it too, which is called authority. How trustworthy are you? Because Google's not just ranking anybody who types cookies on their website, you know? Because I could just type cookies on my website, and then my website could be a bunch of gambling scam stuff. So Google has this really cool way of measuring what's called authority. Basically, they look at how many other websites are linking to your website. And if there's a lot of good websites, high quality, other trusted websites linking to your websites, websites that are relevant to what you do, right? So these guys are cookies. So if they have like baking bloggers linking to them, that's a good sign. And especially if those are like famous, well-known baking bloggers, that's a tongue twister for sure. Baking bloggers. If they're listed on news articles, if they're in their local chambers of commerce, things like that, that conveys trust to Google. When you're trusted, you're probably going to give better results, so Google's going to rank you higher. Because if Google starts ranking somebody who just says cookies and they just pick one at random, well, then I could just make a page that says cookies in Nashville, Tennessee, and I could make it rank with gambling stuff. And then guess what's going to happen? Users are going to see this. The 1,000 to 10,000 people seeing this page every single month are going to click on my website and they're going to get scammed. And boom, there goes Google. They're not going to, nobody's using Google anymore because Google's giving bad results. So it's in their best interest to do what we call authority. So backlinks. Backlinks are important. So the main idea here is you need to say who you are, where you are, what you do, and you need authority. That is how you rank. You need to answer the user's search intent. So if I'm looking for cookies near me and you're a cookie place, you need to make a page that says cookies in Nashville, Tennessee. That is how you rank. Look, these guys baked on 8th. Says absolutely nothing about who they are, where they are, or what they do. This website's terrible. What the heck is going on here? Why are these guys ranking? Let's go ahead and plug them into a tool. This is an SEO tool. It's called Ahrefs. Anemone. You ever seen Finding Nemo? Anyways, look at this. These guys have a good backlink profile. So this is basically a score that kind of shows how many backlinks they have and how good they are. That's a pretty good domain rank. That's pretty good. That's not very common. The average company that you're going to see is at like a 2 to a 6. So this is actually pretty phenomenal. And you can see they're actually losing keywords and they're losing traffic right now. And in your audit video, this is the kind of thing that we would be showing you as well. It's like, okay, well, look, hey, here's your traffic right now, and here's what people are actually searching for, and here's what your authority is, and here's what your competitor's authority is. So this overall is, good backlinks, but yeah, they're like losing traffic. They lost a ton of traffic here. Look at that. They had 4,000 traffic for a minute, and then they just dropped down to 800. So these guys are probably doing something really weird that they shouldn't be doing, is what it looks like to me. Maybe they got their website redone to look like this. I would have to do some research to figure out exactly why, because that's just kind of how that's just how SEO works. You just have to do research to figure out what's going on. But yeah, this is a terrible website, so obviously they're not going to rank up top. So they must have recently redone their website or something along those lines for them to rank this high, because that's uncharacteristic. So pink door cookies is actually a really good example of things being done right for the most part. We haven't even looked at their website yet, so we're going to have to do that now. We're going to go to headings and yeah. So this is a plugin I have installed, and it allows me to see what their heading tags are. Basically, their heading tags are wrong. Heading tags are kind of like how you show Google how your content's actually organized, because otherwise Google has no idea what's going on. Google's not like you and me. Google sees this. That's what Google sees, okay? So I can't understand that at all. But if you add a heading tag, see how that says H1 right there? That means it's called a heading 1 tag. And you apply a heading 1 tag like a title of a book. So on a page, you say who you are, where you are, and what you do. That's what the title of the page should be. What is this page? What is its main purpose? And who are you? Those are the 3 things you need to address in an H1 tag. So these guys are actually not doing a very good job with their website. You know what's probably carrying them is the fact that when I made my search, I'm close to them. So Google is going to give them a little bit of weight. They're probably a little more likely to rank these guys because I'm closer to them and I'm looking for cookies near me. So you got to take that into consideration. But I have a hunch, because I've been doing this for a long time. Oh, look at that. They have a high domain authority. What were we saying about domain authority? That the higher the domain authority, the more trust you have, the more likely Google is to rank you. Because you can't just say the words, you need to actually be about the words. You need to back it up with backlinks. And these guys are indeed doing that. Look at that. They got 22,000 backlinks. Now, this is in no way, do not take away from this video. Oh, this guy on the internet said I need backlinks. Let me just go look that up. Backlink services and buy backlinks. Do not do that. Don't do that. There's a difference between a good backlink and a bad backlink. There's a big difference in that. And if you want to know about that, then you're going to have to talk to me, because it's hard to point people. There's no good way to point people in the right direction for backlinks. There's a specific way that you have to do it. And you're going to have to talk to me about that one. So just keep that in mind. So these guys are getting carried by their backlinks, essentially, because their website really doesn't say much about where they are or what they're doing or anything along those lines. So their website is done incorrectly. As far as I'm concerned, it's done incorrectly. It's inefficient, I should say. It's not incorrectly because obviously it's getting results, but it's inefficient. Like they could be doing way better. They should 100% be outranking this Yelp article. And we're only looking at one search right now. When you do SEO, you look at all these searches. So cookies near me, we look at custom cookies. If they do custom cookies, if our client or the person that we're talking to does custom cookies, we look at custom cookies. So for you, I mean, think about, okay, what do I do? Roofing contracting. I do roof removals. I do roof rebuildings. I do storm restoration. I do gutter repair. I do fascia repair. You know, I bet you didn't know that I knew what a fascia was if you're a roof guy. Huh? You're like, man, this guy knows his stuff. No, probably not. Probably not. But gluten-free cookies, sugar-free cookies, like those are obviously transactional, right? Levain cookies, keto cookies, maybe that's transactional. It's low traffic too, so is it really worth it? Probably not. Lenny and Larry cookies, like that's a brand, so we're not going to look at that. Crumble cookies near me. You could totally rank for crumble cookies near me, but it depends. I mean, you could make like a lookalike page and then kind of like take that traffic, just be like, we're better than crumble cookies, and you could advertise that or something along those lines. Don't you'd have to look into the legality of that before you do it. So don't take my word for that. But cookie delivery would be a good one. So you can see there's a lot of keywords in here that would be good for these guys to rank for, right? And so when you do SEO, you look at all these keywords. The same way that we're looking at this right now, you got to see who's ranking in the map pack. You got to geocode your location across the whole service area. So it's like, okay, well, how are they ranking when we get over here? Because we know that not all 10,000 people who are searching for cookies near me every single month are right here. So how are they ranking here and here and here and here and here and here and here, right? We need to figure that stuff out. And then we need to see, okay, who's in the map pack and who's in the organic results. These guys are most definitely not in the organic results across the board because their website is done incorrectly. They need to say that they do cookies in Nashville. Their website doesn't say that. Their website does not say that at all. Oh, we got it mentioned one time right there. Let's see. Nashville. Nashville. Yeah, just the one time. So look, this is just kind of a brief insight. It's been about 22 minutes, and I mean, I could go for days on these audit videos. Now that you understand the key concepts, though, your audit video is going to be probably relatively around the same length, maybe a little bit shorter, because I'm just going to get straight to the point. I'm not going to be going over general concepts and things like that. I'm just going to get straight to it. Like, hey, look, this is where you're ranking. This is what people are searching for. This is how your competitors are ranking. This is what they're searching. This is what people. Whoa. This is how they're ranking. Excuse me. This is like what their backlinks look like, how well they're ranking, things like that. This is where your map pack's located. This is where other people's map packs are located. So it's just going to be mostly data and just kind of giving you an insight of where you're at, where you stand. And then obviously, we got to explain, okay, how do you actually take this stuff and rank? So I'll show you how to make your Google profile actually rank. And I'll show you how to actually make your website do better. So, hope you enjoyed this example audit video, and get your own, because it's going to be way better than this one. It'll make so much more sense when I can actually explain directly to you with examples catered to you. So I look forward to hearing from you soon, random stranger.